Okay, we have two more questions left for 29. So B and C. So the denominator is, we have two terms. It's different from others. So others, we have one form, right? This is all the others. We have a multiplication. Just one term. But B and C, we have two terms. So we have 9 minus square root 5. And C, we have square root 5 minus square root 3. For this one, we want to use difference of two squares. Remember this formula. A minus B can be factored as radical A plus radical B multiplied by radical A minus radical B. Right. So in this case, so this is from the right-hand side to the left-hand side is rationalization. Because on the right-hand side, we have a square root. We have irrational terms. But through doing this to the right-hand side, we have rational terms. So we want to use this property, this formula. So here we see we have 9 minus square root 5. So we treat this as A minus square root B form. So I could have this, right? I could have A plus radical B times A minus radical B. In that case, I have A squared minus square root B squared, just B. So in this case, we have 9 minus radical 5. So I want to multiply by 9 plus radical 5. Of course, I will do the same for the numerator because I can only multiply by 1 for my expressions. Right, so the denominator gives me A squared, which is 9 squared, which is 81, minus radical 5 squared, which is just 5. Now you see no more radical signs. So through using this property, we have rationalized the denominator. And the numerator will have 5 times 9, 45. Then 5 times radical 5, that's just 5 radical 5. And of course, the denominator we can simplify to be 76. So I have 45 plus 5 radical 5 divided by 76. So now the denominator is rationalized, which means the denominator is a rational number. Before 9 minus radical 5 is an irrational number. So similarly, we're going to do the same for C. We multiply by square root of 5 plus square root of 3. Do the same for the numerator. Then the denominator gives me square root 5 squared, which is just 5, minus square root of 3 squared, which is just 3. And of course, 5 minus 3, that's just 2. So the numerator, I have 3 radical 10, so I multiply these two. 10 is 5 times 2. So let's just write it first. So I have 3 radical 10 times radical 5, because all under radical sign, I can put them together. Then plus, because this is a plus square root of 10, radical 10 times radical 3, all under the same radical sign, so I can put them together. So 10 is 2 times 5. So I have 5 squared. So let me write it one more time. I have 3 radical 5 squared times 2 plus 3 times, well, 10 is 2 times 5. So I have 2, 3, 5, right? And so this is 30. It cannot be simplified. But this one can be simplified. 5 square root just becomes 5. 5 times 3, that's 15. So that becomes 15 radical 2 plus 3 radical 30, all divided by 2. So it cannot be simplified. We just leave like that. So this is rationalize the denominator with 2 terms. So we use difference of 2 squares property. Now let's see question 30. Question 30, we want to solve for radical equations. Let's see A. A, we only have 1 with radical sign. And this is the minus 11. This is a rational number. So what do we want to do? We want to move to the right-hand side. So we get square root of 6x plus 1 equals to 11, right? We'll add 11 on both sides. Then we square both sides. We square both sides, we get 6x plus 1 equals to 11 squared is 121. Then we move this 1 to the other side, right? Become minus. So we get 6x equals to 120. Then we divide by 6 on both sides. So 120 divided by 6, that's 20. So the solution is x equals to 20 for A. For B, I have 2 radical form terms. So I can move this one to the other side, right? So I have square root of x squared minus 15. Move this negative to the other side, become positive. So equals to square root of x plus 5. Then I square both sides. I square both sides, I get x squared minus 15 equals to x plus 5. Quadratic equation. Quadratic equation, we want to make the right-hand side to be 0. That means we want to move x to the other side. We want to move 5 to the other side. Move x to the other side becomes negative x. Move 5 to the other side becomes negative 5. Negative 15 minus 5, that's negative 20. Now we can factor this, like x minus 5, x plus 4. 2 factors of negative 20 adds up to be negative 1. They have to be negative 5 and 4. So by 0 property, x minus 5 can be 0. X plus 4 can be 0. So that means x can be 5 and x can be negative 4. So 2 solutions for this. Okay, 5 and negative 4 for B. So B has 2 solutions. Now let's see C. C is a cubic root. So the index is a 3. So we want to combine, because 4 and 7 are like terms. So we want to combine those 2 like terms. So move 4 to the other side, it becomes a minus. So we equal to 3. So we have cubic root of 3x equals to 3. Now we raise both sides by 3. Because power 3 and index 3 divided by 3 becomes 1. So we have 3x equals to 3 raised by 3. That's 3 times 3 times 3. So which is 27. Well, x equals 27 divided by 3, which is 9. So 1 solution for C. Now D, let me clean up. I need more space. D, we see it's a little bit complicated. D, we have 2 radical forms, and we have a number, right? So that means we have to square twice. So let's square both sides. So square the left-hand side, we just have x plus 5. But square the right-hand side, we have a plus b squared. We have perfect square form. So we have first one square, which is a radical x minus 3 squared, which is just x minus 3. Then plus 2 times the product of those 2. 2 times 2 times the square root of x minus 3, middle term. Right, then plus the second one squared, 2 squared, which is 4. So let's combine like terms. So we have x plus 5 minus x, remove x to the other side. Negative 3 plus 4 is plus 1. We also move to the other side. So it becomes minus 1 minus x minus 1 equals to 2 times 2, 4. 4 radical x minus 3. So plus 5 minus 1. Well, x minus x is gone, becomes 0. 5 minus 1, that's 4. So I have 4 equals to 4 radical x minus 3. Now let's get rid of this 4. How do we get rid of this 4? We divide by 4 on both sides. So we get 4 divided by 4 is 1. Then this side we just have square root of x minus 3. Now we square both sides again. 1 squared is 1. square root of x minus 3 squared is x minus 3. So move negative 3 to the other side, or add 3 on both sides, x equals to 4. So one solution for D. One solution for D. So that's question 30.